Alec, welcome back to Survivor Guatemala. All right.
Why? Hello, Zach. It is right and meet to welcome you here, to welcome me here, for you to welcome us all. Uh,
Yes.
Hello, all you people out there. Survivor reaction time. Zach and I are here.
Oh, Survivor
Yes,
reaction time is what
Survivor
the name of our series is.
time for Survivor reaction time. Did you see the page is blank?
There was once a point where reaction was more sophisticated. You could make it more sophisticated,
Yeah.
but now reaction is Survivor reaction time.
Whoa, reaction time. How quick can you react to this episode of Survivor?
Yeah.
Not 0.03 seconds.
If you're new to the channel, we do Survivor every week here, as well as reviews and discussions about a lot of things from video games to movies, television, and even beyond that. But
Beyond.
Survivor is here every week. We go through an episode where Alec has not seen any of Survivor.
Oh, I'm
After
a newbie.
this point, he has seen chronologically. We've taken him through the first 10 seasons of Survivor as our series
It's
here,
true.
keeping him spoiler free. Every now and then he'll get distracted by his phone, where someone will send him a spoiler for the episode.
No, that's
We're
not. That doesn't
watching.
happen. No, I was just trying to make sure it wasn't on the table, so it's not vibrating tons of things. But I wanted to take a goofy look at it because
You don't want to
we're
have too
just.
many things vibrating on the table at once.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my dildos, or
Just like,
vibrators.
God damn it! Everything, calm down.
Last episode though.
Touch my leg. So
Yeah, they're together now. It's very cute and romantic.
it's cute. I can't wait to see it blossom.
Yeah,
Alright.
the Bloodhead Plus.
So yeah, last episode was the merge. It's the episode. It's a quintessential Survivor milestone episode to always look forward to. The merge. This one was a little weird. A little bit of tension going on. An immediate division. It's not even like pretend to play nice. It's like, we're just gonna separate by our tribes, and
Yeah, I mean, maybe having them come in the middle of the night sort of helped reinforce that because no one really got up to greet them or anything. They just sort of kept sleeping. They're like, "Oh, hi," and then they kept went back to bed.
I mean, they immediately
It's-
set up the dynamic. You're an invader. It's
Yeah.
us versus them.
Yeah,
How dare you come into our camp in the middle of the night?
right.
But there was a lot of different things going on. Jamie was at the center of a lot of it, rubbing people
Mhm.
the wrong way with how he was talking trash as Bobby John was participating in that challenge. People
Mhm.
didn't like that. So
Mhm.
it ultimately came down to be between Jamie and Brandon as the choice. And Rafe had this whole crisis of conscience that he was going through. Didn't want to be part of
Yep.
the axis of evil.
Yeah. Are we the
But
baddies?
ultimately, they do vote out Brandon. But I don't think, I don't think this is the last we'll hear of the Jamie conflict,
Oh no, not at all. Particularly with BJB still being there. So
But previously, you did start doing your power rankings last episode. So going into this episode, your power rankings were Stephanie, Rafe, Judd, Lydia, Cindy, Jamie, Danny, Gary, and Bobby John.
mm.
So by your words, mark your words, BJ
It's going home. Well, yeah. I mean, that's all things remaining equal, but this is Survivor. That
Right,
doesn't
you
always
never know.
happen. Yeah,
You never know. But we might have a BJ at the end of this episode, and we might not.
we might.
You never know
We'll,
what's gonna happen.
we'll have to see. Because he might win immunity. He might find the little immunity idol. I don't know. We'll have to see what's
Yeah.
going on. That was a thing that was introduced also last episode. They've hidden a little miniature immunity idol that can be used secretively, or can be kept secretively, and then utilized at a tribal council should you feel that maybe you're in need of it.
Mhm.
So
All right. So as always, click the link in the description to see the highlights of our reaction, and then come back afterwards for our discussion. Okay.
do it up. See you then.
There you have it. Episode 9 of Survivor Guatemala. Bobby John Drinkard has been voted out. First
you
member
go.
of the jury.
All right. Well, that was not the plan. That was not all according to Keikaku. That was they were planning on voting Gary out, but Gary found the idol.
Yeah,
Good
he
for
did.
Gary.
That he did, and
That was some clutch.
Yeah, it was clutch, and the fact that he followed Judd and saw he was looking up, despite him saying with certainty that the thing is definitely by far on the ground, so to speak.
So to speak. The so to speak really is what gets me.
So it's
It's
like, I
just like,
haven't lied. I said so to speak. So it's up to interpretation at that point,
yeah.
you know?
So to speak, it's on the ground if the ground includes the trees.
Yeah, but it wasn't in a tree. But the thing that it was on is connected to it was on the ground. So
Yeah.
so to speak, it's on the ground, right?
Right. Yeah. So I didn't lie.
It's not. It wasn't just in the middle of the air, like not connected to anything. Magically elevated in the air. Right. So, how do you feel about Bobby John, Survivor Guatemala? What we got from Bobby John?
Bobby John has been just a character once again. I mean, I feel fairly similarly to how I felt about him before. Definitely a hard worker. Definitely a gamer. He's kind of. I feel like he was a little bit more like affable this time around. He was a lot more like. He's still kind of serious, like overly serious maybe at sometimes, but like I don't know. He just seemed a little bit more chipper. This go around, but he definitely like leaned. I would say leaned even harder into like I'm Southern in this one than he did in
Yeah. I think he meets for some fun moments this season, though.
Oh, for sure. I'm kind of glad that they had him along because yeah.
Yeah, and they have that feud with Jamie.
The feud with Jamie, man, that's like one of the best things. Touch my leg, that's gonna be. That's not even what he said, but
not what he said.
It's not what he said at all, but that's what I heard. So,
So, Jamie's feelings were hurt from last episode, when Bobby John said he had no class.
Yeah,
his feelings were hurt. Wouldn't your feelings be hurt in the same situation? I ask you, I implore you. That's what Jamie asked us all.
That was what Jamie asked us all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably. But I mean, he didn't. So maybe his feelings deserve to be hurt. He did not behave with class, and that's it was funny because like he was like, I can't believe you said that to me. Why would he say such a thing? And everyone was sort of like stepping around the fact that was like, well, because he's right is really what they wanted to say, but like they're all just like, well, he was just feeling that way in the moment, and just gotta let it go, man. Like.
Well, because
it's not that.
Yeah, it was rough. But in the challenge, the reward challenge, where your placement determined what meal you would get. Jamie, as a kind gesture, decided to step down to the last place spot to let people get a slightly better meal. Now, Rafe said, it might not have been from the heart. You don't know.
Yeah, he's like, I don't think it was, but.
But it was something.
It was a nice gesture, yeah.
And then a nice handshake with Bobby John, You're a man. He said, I think that's
Bobby John's like, yeah, you're a man. You're a man. I was like, okay, that's something. That's a little something there, but. But then he acted like he
went downhill from there.
Very rapidly.
Actually, mentally unstable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gary tells him straight up, in no uncertain terms, that I will vote with you. Whoever you vote for, I will vote for, because I don't have much of a choice.
Like, I don't think he could have been more clear.
And then Jamie, with the absolute certainty, goes back to his alliance, saying he just told me he was going to vote for me to my face. He's head gaming people hard.
He's head gaming. He's just head gaming us. I don't know what's going on. He's just a head gamer.
Apparently, he's head gaming so hard that you're hearing the opposite of what he's saying. It's like these layers of mind games.
Yeah, layers of gaslighting. That's what we're working through here right now. This is like. That was really odd.
Unfortunately, though, I think Gary was always the certain vote. Probably because of that might have set that in motion. Because Bobby John was always like the second option after Brandon. And Gary, I think, jumped in line because of this imaginary interaction. But
that was so weird. Well, yeah, because it was almost like so Jamie won immunity, which was like, oh boy, yeah, now the crazy guy gets immunity, and it was like because of that, everyone was sort of deferring to him afterwards, and he was just like, like, okay, well, yeah, we'll go that way, I guess that's fine. It's still getting them out of order or whatever. He's like, well, you said you'd vote for me, so Gotta get rid of him. And it's like, that's not what he said, but okay, I guess we're all just gonna go along with it now. But
you know, it might have been Jamie if he didn't win immunity. They might have been convinced. Yeah. I don't know, but
yeah.
Either way, that pushed back to Gary, and then when Gary was gone or got the idol, then it became Bobby John. So
yeah.
But it seemed from the beginning they were resigned that that the majority were just gonna pick because Bobby John and Danny voted for Stephanie, and that just did not seem like it had any chance of happening.
No.
He's too well insulated there.
Yeah.
So it was always going to be their choice, but.
Yep.
So yeah, Judd did win that challenge, the reward challenge initially, and brought Bobby John and Stephanie to the table with him.
Which was funny. Maybe that's what started messing with Jamie. He like his like brain shorted out there because he was like. He just gave up his position. All he had was like some like beans or whatever.
He had no food.
He had no food basically, and it was like boiled but dirty water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had to watch everyone pig out, which also was interesting because like they got like Judd got riotously drunk. So he's
that's true. They keep giving him alcohol and for some reason cigars also.
They just keep giving him everything the big man wants, everything he gets. He just gets to bluster around like a big dumb idiot and act like one.
Mm-hmm. But
it's like weirdly that they're like putting up with it. Like I don't know. It's kind of
just
strange
the norm now. Yeah.
Yeah. Throws up in their enclosure.
Yeah, in the shelter.
Nasty.
The funny interaction though was when he went and told Stephanie about the clue.
Yeah.
And I can't get over the fact that he went over to the other people and he's like, one thing I'll tell you about that tree mail I got, I think it was called. That thing is definitely by far not on the ground or on the ground. So
it's definitely. Yeah, it's definitely. We've been looking up in the trees. Now it's on the ground. On the ground. It's definitely by far on the ground. So to speak. It's the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard anyone say.
Okay, so we should just focus looking down, right? That's what you're saying. Okay, got it.
See, the thing to me is I know they probably played it out this way for television, but like if I had been somebody that heard that, I would have been like, what? Like I would have been like, that was like clearly a lie. That was obviously a lie.
I don't know if nothing sets off a red flag with Judd talking. It's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just like
weird that he said it that way, but
yeah, he said it that way. I would have been like, guys, also he's terrible at lying. Like if that's what he's going for. Yeah, but he hasn't told a lie, I guess. So yeah,
so to speak.
That's
where you get. That's the loophole.
That's the loophole, so to speak. Yeah.
And it's like, well, I didn't say like definitely. I said definitely by far, but then
now, honey, I wouldn't say you're fat, so to speak. But
yeah, you're not fat, so to speak.
Yeah, you're not fat, so to speak. Or even also, baby, you are thin, so to speak.
Thin to some people, sure.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay, I mean,
it wasn't embezzlement, so to speak. It was. Yeah, that's amazing. You could just use that wherever. Yeah, boom, legal loophole for everything. Yeah, it'll work. I swear.
He'll never told a lie the whole season.
Yeah, so to speak. So, yeah, it was an interesting episode. All things considered, there was a lot of ups and downs. The reward challenge was actually really cool. The Atlatl.
The Atlatl? Yeah.
Atlatl. Yeah, it was cool. That thing was a neat little spear throwing device. It's kind of cool.
And I do like the little tiered challenges where it's like the ranking of the food. I like the one in All Stars where Rupert won and got to pick who got the meal. I like when they do that too.
Yeah, it was kind of neat because it was like this one was like you based. Yeah, it is rewarding like based on position rather than just being like this guy wins everything. Mm-hmm. It's like no, we'll tier it. Yeah, I agree. I like that. That's
they're like everybody deserves some food, right?
Right. I feel like if they did that, I wouldn't like it if they did that for every challenge, but I like every once in a while throwing that in there, especially with like a food thing like this. So
yeah. Ultimately, Bobby John voted out, so there's only Gary and Danny left from that tribe. Mm-hmm. So the numbers are what, like 6-2 now?
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
It's pretty rough.
So-
Pretty rough for them.
So will it be another one of those? Will it just go back to Gary, or will it something switch up? Is Jamie still an option, or what?
Difficult to say exactly.
Who'd you give your MVP to for this episode?
MVP, I would give to Gary. Had a lot of great moments this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him like also talking about like looking on jealously at them feasting on all that food.
Right.
But Gary found the idol. He saved himself. Gary tried to be honest with Jamie, and then it immediately like backfired somehow, even though he was being like telling the truth. Yeah, I don't know. I like Gary. Gary just had some good moments this time. Worked really hard in that last challenge. We couldn't do it, but hey, he got the idol. That was pretty clutch. Using his perception, his powers of perception. Seeing Judd just like all around in the trees is like, huh, interesting. Interesting. Definitely on the ground. Definitely 100% not kidding
called
with
him
you.
out on that. He's like, "Oh shoot, man!" Starts looking down.
Yeah. I would have been
I got turned upside down.
Yeah. Hey, so what you looking at? I was looking for the howl monkeys, man. I was just
Actually, it's the clue said you can find more clues if you look up.
Yeah. That was the one thing I didn't tell you. Yeah. Sorry. It was the one thing I was keeping to myself.
They said the idol's most definitely on the ground, so to speak, but if you look up, you can find more clues. So, now your power ranking. Look, one way or another, Bobby John was voted out.
Yeah.
So he was the bottom of your power ranking there.
Our ranking, I think, is mainly unchanged.
So you have Stephanie, Rafe, Judd, Lydia, Cindy, Jamie, Danny, Gary, Bobby John. Or no, without Bobby John. But
Yeah, I think it's relatively unchanged. Yeah, I think that's about right. It's pretty unchanged. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see how it goes
Next time on Survivor. There you have it.
That's it.
What episode would you recommend the viewers go check out after this? What reaction, or maybe another episode of our show?
Yeah, go watch us play Tarqaron Hangman. Okay. The first duel of the Coliseum. We did Hangman based on references to things we talked about and discussed on this channel.
Yeah,
So,
it was good. It was fun times.
It was fun.
Themed Hangman.
Check that out. Come back next week for another episode of Guatemala. All right. And check out our playlist on the channel for all Survivor stuff. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, and click all the links in the description for our social media. All right?
All right.
And I'll see you around.